Fast food fried chicken in the USA is arguably the most popular fast food ever. After trying darn near all of them, I've been led to an important question I have to get out into the world to answer. Which fast food fried chicken is the best in America? You, the audience, voted for the best restaurant and their best item. Tallying the thousands of votes, we have the ultimate list of fast food restaurants that serve fried chicken. These restaurants are gonna go head to head with their best item, but everything counts. Nuggets, tenders, sandwiches. If it's fried chicken, it's in the ring to win the ultimate crown. We're starting this journey off at McDonald's. You guys know how I feel about this place. Everyone voted for the McCrispy because we've never had it. This is actually the very first time I'm trying this item. Could it be a winner right out the gate? Cheers.
Texture, it looked crispy, but it gave a lot of sogginess to it. Flavor, I enjoyed the flavor. It was seasoned, it was balanced. I'll give them that. Good job, McDonald's.
Texture, the chicken wasn't as dry as I thought it would be. It had that like brined chew to it, but it wasn't dry. It's like 75% pickle flavor. Flavor was all right. It tastes like a Chick-fil-A sandwich. There was absolutely no crunch whatsoever.
It's one of the more seasoned McDonald's items I've had.
I'm just still eating. Mine's kind of dry, but I like the taste.
Is that where we're ending with that? So we have a new rating system. We're gonna be rating all these out of 10, and then we'll reveal our scores to each other to see where this lands.
I'm scared to show mine. I feel like I'll be judged.
So here's the thing, like obviously Christian and I have a chef perspective. You're the most important person here because you are the voice, the mind, the man of the people. 2, 3.
A 6.2, 6.8, and a 5.
We're on the same page. Wow. I liked it.
We're looking for the greatest fast food fried chicken dish in the entire world. And if we're gonna do that and we're putting this on that scale, my thought is like, well, the best version, an 8 or a 9 or a 9.5 would be thunder crack of crunch, immense amounts of flavor, no dryness, juicy, perfect texture. Then this has to be as middle to the ground as it could be. It's not bad, but it's not that.
The reason why I gave it more than an average is crunch, there was a little bit, but not like enough to be like it's crackling fried chicken. So that dropped it down. It's never gonna be a 7, but the seasoning from McDonald's without a sauce was surprising.
I would eat it again.
Moving on.
McDonald's entry for the best fried chicken is on the board, but with a score like that, it's only a matter of time until it's topped.
Whether you know Dylan or not, Dylan also has reviewed food in the past. And you were telling me earlier that you have a goal today.
I want to expand my vocabulary a little bit, because as of right now, I know about 5 words. Yummy, delicious, and other variations of yummy and delicious. So I just need to be able to describe what I'm eating, just like you.
We're gonna get this man to articulate food like no one ever has.
Onward to Bojangles.
Unfortunately, these are all heart-shaped, which is probably one of the worst fucking shapes you could ever put a biscuit in.
They made mine and stepped on it.
Cheers. You guys specifically voted for the biscuit sandwich over the tenders. I will say the chicken is phenomenally crispy. The seasoning on it is unbelievable. The spice level on this is way better.
This doesn't taste spicy to me at all.
I like this chicken seasoned nicely. The salt levels are perfect. The crunch is really nice. I'm really happy with that. It's drier, far drier, and the biscuit is adding nothing. It's subtracting.
I normally like biscuits. I don't like this biscuit.
Without the biscuit, it would have felt moist, but because we're eating it as a whole, it's just.
Let's rate. Uno, dos, tres.
7.9, 7.6, and 6.9.
7.9, dude?
It was flavorful.
I would say that this would have been really close had it not been for how goddamn dry the inside of it was and how dry the biscuit was. I mean, it was dry on dry. All the flavor you could possibly want is in this thing. No bitter oil, but like the second something's too dry, it just, to me, it drags the experience way down.
If it wasn't as crispy as it was, I would have gave it less than a 7, but it was nice and crispy.
I think because I didn't have that much biscuit because it was so flat, I tasted more of like just the chicken. It was crunchier.
All right.
I feel like a 7.6 is fair.
He's getting good at this shit.
And just like that, Bojangles takes the top spot over McDonald's. Not difficult. Moving on.
All right, we're at Pollo Campero. This looks good. The skin is kind of flaccid, but the crisp is crispy.
I like it.
At the beginning of this video, you had a goal. You said, I want to be able to articulate better about food. This is your moment.
I think this chicken thigh is crunchy. The actual chicken itself is very juicy, very flavorful. I don't taste a bunch of different spices, but I feel like that's just my brain not being able to process all of them. But I feel like the salt levels are good.
Wow.
Look at you guys, descriptive.
Let's go.
But I do taste seasoning. I think this might be the most salted out of everything we've eaten so far. It does have a reminiscence of a little bit of Thanksgiving.
Which, by the way, the Thanksgiving flavor you're thinking of is white people.
Skin is crispy. Even though it's off of the meat, it's still crispy. Chicken is juicy. The chicken itself, not just the skin, is seasoned. Pretty good experience.
Let's just talk about texture first. I actually like the crunch. What I don't like is it's so thin. It's not so much breaded, it's more so like a very thin, papery skin of crunch. And I want like a nice, lustful, deep crunch and there being a clear coating of breading. I'm not saying too much breading, I'm just saying I want the breading to be apparent. This to me feels like it was like dusted with flour and fried, and that to me doesn't feel like fried chicken. That said, it is still crispy and the texture is still nice. Now, flavor flavor. To me, this tastes like chicken soup powder, which if you ever had is unbelievably delicious. It's like MSG, salt, and chicken flavoring. There's not a whole lot of like garlic and onion and marjoram and white pepper and this and that. It's just like kind of chicken and salt. But that said, like it's salted pretty much perfectly and it's cooked perfectly. Super juicy, super moist, and kind of melts in your mouth. So there's lots of good, and there's a few things I would pick apart from it. Shall we rate? 3, 2, 1.
A 7, 9, 8, 1, and an 8.
Wow. I almost went 7, 9.
It needs more seasoning. Salt was great, the chicken was great. It just feels crispier. It would have been an 8 for me.
I feel like I went with mine because, one, I have never heard of this restaurant chain before, so I wasn't expecting the chicken to actually be decent.
Even without the seasoning, the flavor was hitting, and I was happy with it. Even though I wasn't as happy with the crunch was still very apparent. Like a lot of things have one thing and not the other. This had a little bit of both, and had enough of both to earn a strong 8. An underdog, but not a winner. We're gonna find one. Moving on. Wendy's is next with the spicy chicken sandwich. This might be the one menu item that's keeping them afloat, so let's see how they did. Cheers.
So the chicken's dry, and I feel like I'm judging this harsher because Wendy's slogan is quality is our recipe. I don't think the quality on this is good.
I looked at it and I thought I was gonna bite a juicy bite. It was drier than the first bite.
It's nice that this is breast and not like formed patty, but it's not helping them because it's overcooked to dog shit. It's dry as f. There's no crunch whatsoever. The breading on it is the standard Cisco breading, and all I taste is like spicy with no flavor. At least there's salt on it, for God's sake, but this is a drag to eat.
The prominent flavors I get out of this is wet tomato with mayo.
I like the bun though, the bun's nice. We're gonna rate now. 3, 2, 1.
2.3, a 4, and a 2.
Wow, 4, here he goes again.
What? I feel like it's fair. The chicken was dry, but I agree, I like the bread. It's Wendy's, I don't know.
A 4 I might almost go back and eat. And to me, I don't ever wanna go back and eat that. So it has to be below a 4. It's not a 1 because it's not like inedible. There's so many things missing from it and it's such a letdown of experience. I would be mad that I consumed those calories. And therefore, it lands at a 2 for me personally.
Moving on.
We are at Jollibee. They have won a few times, I will say. So the question is, are they the #1 fast food fried chicken in America? We have 2 different options here that were voted for, the spicy chicken sandwich and the spicy chicken joy. We're gonna try both of them. Whichever one we prefer will get entered in the competition. So let's begin with the spicy sandwich. Spicy jalapenos, it's creamed on both sides. Fried chicken, spicy, soft bun. Let's taste, boys. That just all over McDonald's.
Can I change my McDonald's score?
No, you can't! Here's the chicken joy. It's just bone-in fried chicken. The question is that gonna beat out the chicken sandwich?
Because a bunch of it was coming off at first, I didn't think it'd still be crunchy, but it still got good crunch.
I didn't even take the flag out.
Only red flag allowed in my life.
Jesus Christ, Christian, you all right, buddy? Even though the skin was kind of falling off, still insanely crispy. The flavor was so chickeny and rich and unctuous. That little bit of MSG taking it a step further. It's not too spicy at all. It's like lightly warm. And then obviously the salt levels were phenomenal, dude.
Those are more words than I know. It's yummy.
Chicken good.
Chicken good. I've had it before, but I haven't had this. But I'm getting this next time I go to Jollibee.
It's that first bite. Let's rewind it, just slow-mo my reaction, because that was a true, honest reaction of biting a fresh, hot, steamy, juicy, crispy fried chicken. Life-changing? Maybe. I've had it before, but something about today. It was nice. Texture, wispy. Did fall apart a little bit. Not too much fried chicken out there that falls off the bone, but that was doing it for me.
This is tough, dude, but we're gonna have to rate. And we're rating the chicken joy, just to be clear, if that wasn't apparent what we like. Damn, dude, I don't want to go too crazy, but
I'm definitely going crazy.
3, 2, 1.
An 8, 8, 8, 9, and a 9.3.
Is mine too high?
Ooh, wow, dude.
I like it.
I didn't put this into the category of 9s because I was being nitpicky. You know, it's like the only thing that would have brought it to a 9 for me would have been a little bit more breading. The breading was a touch light. It was a nice crunch, but what I noticed is a lot of it was bundled breading in certain areas that had crunch, and then there were other areas that were flaccid and light on the breading.
What would have given it a 9 or above is if it held together better. I do like a good fall off the bone, but it was a little messier. I don't mind mess, but it was almost near perfect.
Yeah, I would agree. It's on the edge.
I feel like if it had all of that, I would have given it a 10, and then we would have been done.
But we're not done. We're moving on.
We have a clear leader separating from the pack. Jollibee has won before. We've never compared Jollibee to all the major fried chickens in America. And I hate to say it, but there's a strong chance that they lose their crown today. Only one way to find out.
We're at Burger King with chicken fries. Let's just get this over with. You know what they are. Cheers. 3, 2, 1.
0.9, 2.2, and 3.
How'd you give the highest score?
Let me express myself. I'm trying not to be dramatic this time. suck. My first thought was a 1, but I'm also trying to be predictive here because I don't know how much worse it's gonna get. Eating the chicken fry, the salt levels are good, it doesn't taste bad. The only demarcation on flavor that I have is that the bitter ass oil that totally ruins it. So first it starts at like maybe like a 4, and then the bitterness brings it down to like a 1 or a 2.
That tastes like string cheese. Like not in like a good way. I didn't like it.
You're right, this should be a 2.
The chicken finger I had didn't have seasoning or salt. All I tasted was bitter and crumbs.
Okay, so there you go. There's inconsistency in the product. Mine was seasoned and salted fine, but there was no crunch. Texture was terrible, no juiciness. It wasn't super dry, but it was also just like sponge chicken, which was very odd. And then there's the bitter oil. So, you know, I give it a 2.
That might be the worst thing I put in my mouth in the last 2 months. It's less than a 1.9.
A 1 for me is it tastes good, but it's not cooked, so it might give me food poisoning. This was at least edible, which is why I gave it a 2.
Honestly, that's probably the best description. Moving on. We are at Dave's Hot Chicken. We're at Drake's place. This doesn't look like it has much breading. It looks like flaccid.
This looks like it's been run over.
Here we go, cheers.
That tastes better than I thought it would, but it's not crunchy.
Probably some of the worst hot chicken I've ever had.
For hot, I was expecting hotter.
It's more heat than it is like flavor.
But it's not really that spicy. Like spiciness in terms of like heat, I would give it like a 5 out of 10. Like it's spicy, but it's not knocking my socks off. This is the least seasoned and least salted chicken we've had all day. It is one of the least crispy. It is not dry, which I appreciate. It's actually quite juicy.
I feel like a lot of the others left like a nice aftertaste. It's just like heat.
I will say it does linger, which is expected.
Let's rate. Ready, 3, 2, 1.
A 3-1, 4-3, and a
6. Even Dylan went under 5.
I'd rather go back to McDonald's.
See, I don't know if it was my piece. You guys spoke that it was under seasoned. Yes, needs salt, but mine was very flavorful.
Mine was not.
I had sweetness, I had smokiness. For a chicken tender, I think it was slightly above mid, hence the 6.
All I tasted was paprika and cayenne. I didn't taste any garlickiness, any onioniness.
I did, and I had like a little sugary tomato, like brown sugar.
I got some sugar.
Mine's just based on me wanting to go back, and I don't really want to come back here.
Ready? I'm just gonna stand tall. Because it doesn't have sauce, it's mid.
5.0. Moving on.
Dave's mid chicken, unfortunately, not quite hitting like we thought it would. But we're moving on to one of the most hyped up contenders of all time.
We're at Raising Cane's, unfortunately. They're calling this a chicken tender.
No sauce, right?
Unfortunately, no sauce.
Okay.
Cheers.
That tastes like nothing.
This really is for white people. The best part of this was actually surprisingly for the first time the texture. The crunch was pretty good. Unfortunately, there was absolutely no flavor and no salt whatsoever.
You need cane sauce.
You see, that's a little horse shit, and this is my theory. I think it has a lot to do with production. It's really hard to maintain consistency because chicken is constantly breaded inconsistently. We've seen that a few times in some of the places we've gone. But what can be consistently the same across the board no matter what? The sauce. So they intentionally under-season and you have to get the sauce. That's almost like the selling point. You go to Raising Cane's to have the chicken with the sauce. You don't go to Raising Cane's to have the chicken. I guess we'll rate. This is gonna be rough.
I don't know how confident I feel in my rating.
3, 2, 1.
2-3, okay, 3, all right, 3-8, brutal.
Good job, guys. I can't believe I'm the highest one rating it.
I rated it higher than the Burger King just because it's crunchier.
It was just texture that gave it any score, really. So overall, it was steep below mid.
I gave it the highest rating. Here's the thought. Chicken actually wasn't dry and it wasn't chewy, and that usually is a problem with Cane's. And the crunch was present. So the texture I was honestly pretty happy with. I wish there was a bit more breading, but it was so lacking in flavor. If the flavor was there, it might have brought this to maybe a 7. But the lack of the flavor just brings it to a 3.8. Moving on.
Who would have thought to have the best fast food fried chicken in America, you'd actually need good chicken? Moving on to the next.
All right, we are at Carl's Jr. with their fried chicken sandwich. I don't expect this to be good. Let's just eat it.
Oh my God.
You know what? It's actually not bad.
Does the texture on my chicken look right? It looks like the texture of bread.
It's more like a giant nugget than it is like breast meat, which I don't mind, by the way. I like making chicken sandwiches like that myself. Texture, I was surprised. Out of all the nugget-based sandwiches that we've had, this is the crispiest and the crunchiest. The salt level is actually perfect. There is pretty decent flavor in it. I like the mayo and the lettuce. I like the simplicity of it. I wish there were pickles and some acid on this to balance it. But all in all, it's okay. Like, it's actually okay.
Tasting it, it's nostalgic. I'll give it that. That's always a win for me. I'll say it tastes better than it looks.
Yeah.
Texturally, there's more everything than chicken, and I do like the mayo and the lettuce. It's very nostalgic.
I didn't really get that same crunch. To me, the texture of this kind of tastes like when you fry something, but you like leave it out for too long and it gets a little soggy.
This is mid.
Yeah, this is mid.
We're not gonna do the board on this. It's all 5s across the board. Mid, good for you, Carl's Jr. Surprise, surprise, move on. All right, we are at Popeyes. Specifically what was voted for was the bone-in fried chicken, and I get why. This might be one of the best looking pieces of chicken we've had all day. This wing looks crazy.
I want it. I'm a wing guy.
All right. Is this regular or spicy?
This is not spicy.
But it is seasoned.
You know what I find funny? It's like both good and kind of a letdown. It's very oily. You know, honestly, I don't love this. I will say that Popeyes won the chicken nugget video, but it wasn't much of a competition because all the chicken nuggets were extremely shit. Let's rate. Ready, and a 3, and a 2, and a 1.
A 6, 9, 6, 8, and a 5.
Surprisingly low though for what it looked like. To me, it looked like it was gonna be an 8.
I honestly thought it was gonna be up there with Jollibee.
Me too.
Based off of looks and smell.
I didn't think Jollibee's looked as well breaded as this one, although it was. This was missing crunch. It was undersalted by about 50% in my opinion. There was no spiciness to it, no chicken flavor that I was picking up. It was rather flavorless, surprisingly, and there was a weird aftertaste.
I can't get over the oiliness. That's just like lingering in my mouth, so I'm not a fan of that.
Flavor was there. It wasn't as spicy as the namesake is. I got more chicken flavor than Josh did for sure, and I think overall texture was up there. Yeah, I'm dripping, dude.
Moving on.
Bit of a disappointment for a place that's known for their chicken, but Jollibee is still holding strong at the halfway mark. Can anyone beat it though? Up next is not my favorite, Chick-fil-A.
I cannot believe I'm saying this. This is the most beautifully breaded and fried Chick-fil-A chicken I've ever seen. I feel like they gotta be watching my videos because every time we go back, the chicken is better. Cheers. Mine's like really fucking spicy. This is good. This is the most spicy of any of the chicken sandwiches by far, and I really like that. I'm not unhappy with it. Pickles are there, bun's nice. I mean, it's a basic chicken sandwich, but it's one of the better Chick-fil-A's I've had.
If you were to have a blind taste on chicken sandwiches, I would have never guessed that was Chick-fil-A.
I've had a lot of Chick-fil-A, and this is good, but I'm still standing on it's like a little too salty.
I kind of agree. I just took another bite, and it's almost too salty, yeah. All right, let's rate. 3, 2, 1.
7, 4, 7, 8, and a 7.
Wow.
I feel like this is pretty close.
One of the better chicken sandwiches I've had from Chick-fil-A. The seasoning was nice, the flavor was nice, the crunch was nice. It wasn't perfect. It was maybe close to an 8, but what brought it down to a 7, it was a little oversalted by about 10 to 15%. After a couple bites, I was like, I'm done.
The saltiness level would have been perfect if there was more chicken. I think the salt would have balanced out.
I feel like compared to some of the other places that have kind of been under-seasoned, it kind of automatically bumps this one a little bit higher. I feel like 7.8 is accurate, and also I'm biased towards Chick-fil-A.
I've always hated Chick-fil-A, but that's a win for Chick-fil-A, but not for the competition. Let's find our winner moving on. We are now at KFC. Herbs and spices, my ass. This is one of the grayest looking fried chickens I've ever seen, but hey, that doesn't mean it doesn't taste good, so let's find out.
Stale. Like, it's not crunch that I'm biting on, it's staleness.
This tastes exactly like when you order fried chicken and it's meh and you leave it in the fridge overnight and you reheat it in the oven. Flavor is just old chicken. It's really kind of grossing me out.
The skin and the chicken almost have the same texture.
Let's rate. 1, 2, 3.
A 3, 3, a 3, and a 2.8.
The salt level was good, and honestly, that's it. If the salt was not present, it would be a 1. Moving on.
KFC, yet another letdown. I would say I'm shocked, but at this point it is.
We're at Chicken Express, and I will say, I think I judged a book by its cover. Most of the time I see a sign with a chicken flying through the air, my thought is, oh boy. I went and took a poop in there. The bathrooms were remarkably clean, and they were private with a lock on the door. Yeah, and the chicken looks good. Spicy chicken, cheers.
I like the breading a lot, but I don't know if I like the actual chicken. It's kind of spongy.
I'm like confused. I was like, oh, this is good. It's beautifully crispy, and yeah, the chicken's just dry as f.
Initially, great crunch, great flavor on the actual crunch. It is the driest chicken I've had so far.
It's just like spicy with no flavor, the crunch.
No salt, it's just spice.
Yeah, I'm kind of bummed out.
I feel like we got a bad batch.
Let's vote. All right, 3, 2, 1.
4, 6.6, and a 3.7.
6?
You gotta remember, I started with McDonald's at a 6.8.
You're saying this is equatable to McDonald's?
To be fair, I really like the breading, and also, I like their tea.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
I think my grade is higher than yours slightly because needed salt and needed juicier chicken, but overall the crunch was addicting.
The only thing that was good about this was the crunch. Everything else was trash. The chicken was dry, it was undersalted. The seasoning was meh. Maybe it was because there was no fucking salt. The spice level was okay. This is better than Raising Cane's.
It's a lot better than Raising Cane's.
All right, moving on. We're at Zaxby's again. The chicken looks all right, but how good is it?
Well, hot, too hot.
Okay, so texture, the crunch is nice. I wish there was a bit more breading on it, but it's decent, like it's acceptable crunch. The chicken's juicy. It's not like terribly stringy or chewy or dry. It's juicy and plump. I'm not mad at that. Flavor is interesting because the salt levels are really good, but I'm just not getting a lot of like seasoning. I'm not like getting any black peppercorn, garlic, rosemary.
It needs sauce, but it also doesn't need sauce. Does that make sense? You can dip it in sauces, but you don't need to. I want to, but not as bad as I want to dip Cane's. There's been a couple bites, hopefully you can find it, where I just started squirting. I don't know if it was me or the chicken.
Huh?
The chicken flavor stands out the most, more than anything. Then it's the crust, then it's the salt. That's nice.
I tasted the breading separately, and I also tasted the chicken separately. Both sides are seasoned, so it's not just like one or the other. I think it's a good piece of chicken, and if you're on a diet, you can eat this because, you know, you can't have sauce.
What are you talking about?
Isn't sauce like, doesn't
It's
sauce
deep
have a lot?
fried chicken.
Every calorie counts.
Thank you, Dylan. Let's rate.
3, 2, 1.
We got a 7, another 7, and an 8.2.
Dude, 7 on 7, baby. We got a kiss.
If you look at mine, it was originally gonna be a 7. I rated it higher because I liked how simple it was.
I love the perfect amount of salt it had. I don't think it was overly salty.
The texture and the salt levels made it a 7. The thing that kept it from being an 8 was the lack of additional flavor, spices, and possibly a little more crunch. Splitting hairs, moving on. We're at Shake Shack. These look great. They went with the In-N-Out model, the way they're serving it. Very nice. Cheers.
Lizard. Initially, it was like a flavorful bite, and then it got really bitter quick. Maybe it's a sauce. It's not a ranch, almost like a tartar sauce. Texture is great. I like the crispiness on this chicken.
So initially when I bit into it, I thought it was too salty, but I think the sauce kind of balances it out. My chicken was not dry, which I'm a big fan of. I think this is one of my higher rated chicken sandwiches that we've had.
I think this is phenomenal. Immediately, you're punched in the face with all sorts of layered flavor. The chicken is juicy and not dry. I love the softness of that Martin's roll. I don't know, I really like this sauce a lot. It's just like all sorts of flavor. You've got that deep fried chicken. It's roasty and toasty. There's garlickiness. There's the creaminess from the mayo, acidic pickles, the freshness from the lettuce.
Overall taste was up there up until the bitterness came in. Texture is great. I like the crispiness on this chicken. You can tell they're hand breading it, and the texture of the bun. It's always gonna be good with potato rolls.
I will say there are bigger consistency issues with Shake Shack because they're actually cooking their food. It's not like Wendy's where they give you a frozen hockey puck and you throw it in the fry later and it's done. There are inconsistency issues, but the piece I had was good, so I'm gonna rate based off what I tasted. 3, 2, 1.
8, 6.8, and an 8.8.
Well, you went real high.
I thought back to the Jollibee sandwich. I rated this the same as the Jollibee chicken because I enjoyed it equally. That said, I ate that with nothing. This has sauce and pickles and bun and all sorts of things. That's what it required to bring it up to that level. But to me, it was the same experience of joy, flavor, texture.
I rated mine pretty similar to the Chick-fil-A sandwich. I feel like initially this was a little too salty, but the sauce kind of fixed it up a bit, a little bit higher overall.
I think that's fair. Human error happens. I still love it, but we're moving on. We're at Church's Chicken. This is the very last spot, and this could be the dethrone. What else is there? We're at Church's Chicken, and this could be the dethrone to all of the prior chicken. The question is, will it be? Looks crisp. It looks actually stunning. This might be one of the most beautiful chickens I think I've seen all day. This is almost a whole chicken. They're just missing 2 breasts.
Good crunch. Again, I can't taste other seasonings except for salt. Is that me or am I just like,
You're right.
the chicken itself does taste good. It's juicy, tender.
This texturally to me is the best chicken we have had all day long. Period, end of story. It is fried utterly perfectly. It's not over fried. I don't taste any bitter oil, but the crunch was phenomenal. This is the breading. This is the crunch I've been looking for. The chicken is cooked and delicate and melts in your mouth. It's succulent. The flavor, on the other hand, is a little bit of a letdown. It's kind of undersalted. If I were to give this salt out of a 10, I'd give it like a 7.8, maybe an 8, which is still pretty good. It's just not perfect. To your point, like not tasting spices, I will say I'm not getting a lot of chicken flavor, and I think that has a lot to do with the missing salt. Flavor's a little lacking to me.
Initially, I had majority crunch and skin that when I bit into it, I didn't even eat the chicken yet. So I had to go in there for the chicken juicy, the skin crispy, the crust crispy. Yeah, I agree with the 8 out of 10 on the salt level, seasoning lacking.
Damn, you're polishing that bone off.
It's good.
You can have the flavor not be perfect, but if the texture's that good, you can't help but stop eating. That's why texture is so important. Texture over taste. I have a cookbook. It's one of the best cookbooks in human history. It's also a multi-New York Times bestseller. You should go to the link in the description and get it. It's fantastic. A lot of people love it. Now let's rate. 3, 2, 1.
An 8, an 8.6, an 8.7.
Whoa, simmer down, fellas. If the flavor on this was perfect, I would have given this a 9 and it would have beaten Jollibee's. That's all I have to say.
Jollibee trumps it with the flavor overall. And that crunch, oh, that crunch.
The crunch is crazy.
So close to Jollibee, it's getting really tight here. We only have 1 spot remaining, and it could very well be the only spot that could dethrone Jollibee. After 16 spots in their most voted for chicken items, the fried chicken showdown comes down to 1 final spot.
We're at Long John Silver's. This is one of the biggest contenders of the whole operation today. The reason why, they won the chicken tender competition with flying colors. An incredible review. It blew our minds. I know you remember this moment.
I can't forget it.
What I will say is visually, they look undercolored, but that doesn't mean that they're necessarily bad. So let's try them. How are they so good?
What the f? Is this like beer batter fried?
I don't know.
I like that the crust kind of flaky. I think it's seasoned pretty well, and the chicken itself isn't that dry.
I do like a nice wet batter type thing because it almost steams the chicken and it keeps it moist. Like it's really crunchy on the outside and there's a little bit of batter left you can see. And that chicken is juicy because it's like encapsulated in that batter.
I mean, I hate how this looks, but I'm not demarking points for how it looks. The salt level is quite literally perfection.
It's like a bag of chips, like you can't stop eating it.
Yeah.
I ate my entire chicken tender.
The chicken itself was springy in a nice way. It was juicy, and I will say chicken breast needs to be cooked just a little bit that you can differentiate the fibers. You don't want it to be so perfectly cooked that it...
Or it peels.
Yeah, I hate that.
It's a tender and it was tender.
On top of that, it has a different kind of crunch out of anything we've eaten today. I'm like embarrassed to say that if I was like out and about and everyone's like, we have to go get fast food, I'd be like, let's go to Long John Silver's, and everyone would be like, what?
I'm not embarrassed. I love Long John Silver's. I went here a lot as a kid.
I mean, I get it. I kind of wish I had. Let's rank.
It is the one singular spot that could actually knock Jollibee off the throne. These guys blew us away when we first tried their chicken tenders. They were so good, so different than any fast food fried chicken I had ever had. And at this point, possibly the only one that could beat Jollibee.
Ready? And this is actually genuinely very hard. I would love to say that we drummed this up, but there was a lot of things we had to consider here.
I changed my answer 3 times.
Will this top Jollibee and take the lead? That we're about to find out in 3, 2, 1.
An 8.7, 8.3, and an 8.9.
Oh,
Wow. I went above Jollibee for this one. The experience of this was not necessarily better than Jollibee, but let's think about this for a second. You got plain chicken breast with no fat, no skin on it, no bones to make it nice and flavorful and rich and unctuous, and the fact that it's even competing with Jollibee is insane. What I can get from Jollibee, I can get at home. I actually don't even know where to begin making this. Last thing I'll say is it is the most different and exciting chicken experience we have had. Everything else is like varying degrees of good or bad of the same thing. This is totally different.
See, I can't make Jollibee or this at home. I think I just prefer the flavors from Jollibee more.
You put a spicy chicken joy thigh in front of me or a Long John Silver tender, I'm grabbing that thigh fast.
That's a very good point.
The whole point, I feel like, of this video is who has the best fried chicken option. That has been top tier so far.
That changed my mind. I'm giving it an 8.75. I'm splitting hairs. I'm saying Jollibee is slightly better for that reason. But I still think that this deserves something on the table. This is crazy.
It's an 8. Across the board, above an 8.
Yeah.
It's huge for all of us.
This is a fish place.
This is a fish place. It's literally topping everybody else but Jollibee. Yet again, Jollibee is a winner. I'm not surprised because, you know, they always deliver on quality, freshness, the crispiness. I've been screaming this from the rooftop, and honestly, at this point, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Jollibee, please let me fucking franchise a place in Austin. Please! I've asked you a million times. I know you're watching this. That is my one plea.
I'll help him.
I'll just eat there.
Bye, subscribe.
We still have to assess where Dylan landed on his ability to describe food. It started off soft,
I like the taste. I don't think the quality on this is good. It's yummy.
but then he surprised me. There were moments that I couldn't even believe it was Dylan himself saying those words. Things like,
The actual chicken itself is very juicy, very flavorful. I can't get over the oiliness, but I don't know if I like the actual chicken. It's kind of spongy.
that's a 5 out of 5. Dylan, congratulations, you've done it.